became angry drunk and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I'm assuming that you were drinking for a couple more years after that initial drink. When did it click in your head that, hey, this is a problem? I think I'm an alcoholic.
That's a very tricky question. And I was contemplating that question today when I knew I was going to talk to you, because the answer is there's two answers to that. I kind of knew immediately, like I knew that my reaction to alcohol was not normal, and I had heard enough to know it's not about how often you drink or how much you drink. It's why you drink and how you react. I knew
Gotcha.
that somewhere in the back of my head, but I spent 20 years from then, from 93 to 2013, comparing myself to everybody else so that I can stay drinking. Well, he does coke. I don't do coke. Well, that one lost their kid. I never lost my kid. Well, I have a good job. Well, I treat addicts and alcoholics, so I'm not that bad. That
Mhm.
fed my addiction big
And
time.
and a lot of addicts do that same thing.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
so 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 when did it become a problem where you was like, I need the help now?
So
That's that's a different answer then.
that is a different answer. There was an actual day where I knew I needed help,
And what
but
happened on that day?
can I talk a little bit before that, really
Yeah,
quick?
of course. You can do whatever you want. This is your platform, mommy. This is for you to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, us people, as normal as we are, or not normal,
Hmm.
we suffer through some mental health relapses.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and a lot of times we just don't know how to get it out.
Oh, yeah.
And this, you speaking, is allowing you to get it out. This is releasing mental health. Even for me, listening to you and sharing with you is relieving my mental health. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Hmm.
this is whatever you want to say, however you want this conversation to go. This is you. This is your story. You tell it how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the producer. I'm
I
filming it.
got you.
You know what I'm
All right.
saying?
All right.
So,
So the whole purpose of this for me actually is, they say if you help one person in your life, you did a good thing. Like, there's a lot of people out here that are suffering with this kind of addiction or mental illness, and they really don't know that there's a solution. They don't know that they're sick because they don't drink or drug every day. They
mhm.
don't know that there's so much other things behind it. Like, you can go without drinking or drugging most of your life and still have the addiction. It's a mindset. It's feeling like you don't belong. It's feeling like you need an elixir, something to get you out of your head, Um, it, I've been sober for 11 years, but sometimes it switches up money. I get crazy buying things, or I go up and down with my weight, or I go up and down with my anger. Like, I still struggle even though I don't drink.
Yeah.
So part of the reason that, other than what I told you about staying, comparing myself, was the hood we grew up in. My house was the after hours place. I'm sure you've been there a few times for after hours. I mean, I just
I
remember you were there for training. You used to train me.
I really, to be honest with you, I don't remember that well. At my age, memory is pretty bad. I've taken a lot of bumps in wrestling and a lot of hits in just any type of form of fighting and football and stuff. So I
Hmm.
don't think I have my wits together.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
You,
We're a little bit on the old side now.
yeah,
Can't front.
you be surprised how many people come up to me and they're like, I remember you from this, and I'm like, yo, I got no clue who you are. I'm sorry, but
Do you
I
remember
got
that
you.
you used to train me though as a personal trainer?
Yes, I think so. With my stepper, right? I
No,
used to
you
bring a
came in
stepper
and
with
you did
bands.
calisthenics. Oh, yes, you did. The bands. You would
Yeah,
make me run up and down the stairs,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I tried to help you. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah, yeah,
remember that
yeah.
was I was working for Bally's at the time.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, 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 yes.
So I partied a lot in Pauline's. Right, Pauline's was a big party style, and everybody would get drunk. We would do pregame in my apartment because I got an apartment young because my dad was a super. So I had my own apartment at 21.
Mm-hmm.
So we would party at Pauline's all night, and then the after party in my house. Everybody would be getting high, sniffing, doing all that stuff, and I just drank. So I thought, well, everybody else is getting high. I must be okay, you know? And in our hood, everybody drank like I drank. Everybody drank a lot, drank and got messed up. But it was like we were weekend warriors, right? So it's hard to look when you think back in that time about addicts and alcoholics, you're thinking bums in the street, the guys that are sleeping in
Yes.
Van Cortlandt, you
Right.
know, the mother that lost her baby because she was smoking crack. Like that's what we thought. But really, it's the people that suffer in silence. So I lived my life as a facade. Everybody thought I had my shit together because from the outside looking in, I had a good job. I went to school. I ended up going to grad school. You know, I got all these degrees. I'm a clinician. I have my private practice. All of this stuff fed into my disease because I would help you so that I don't have to look at me. If I'm helping you, my focus is on you and it's not on me. But I lost myself in that. And part of my addiction is like codependency, and a lot of it was issues with men. So my happiness was contingent upon having someone in my life. And my last drink was the same day of a major breakup. And I remember it was my daughter's 4th birthday, and I threw her this amazing birthday party. Again, I live a facade. My man at the time, he had money. He worked for sanitation, and he was an accountant on the side. Everything looks good. We have a nice car, BBB. My daughter, I get her a magician. I get her Snow White.
Shit, you went out.
I went out, right? It looks great. Oh, Christina got her shit together, right? I couldn't wait for that party to be over so my mother could keep her that night so me and my man could go to the bar and get drunk. And I remember hurrying up that party, wanting to go drink so bad. And I got to the bar and I kept ordering, I'll never forget, Jack and Diet, but like big ones. I felt like I needed to catch up, like I was falling behind. And I'm sitting at the bar and I can't get out of my head. I can't get high. I can't stop the racing thoughts. I can't chill. It wasn't working anymore. And I felt like I wanted to die because alcohol was like my best friend. Like it took me out of my misery.
Yeah.
So if this is no longer working, how the hell am I going to get out of my misery?
Gotcha.
So I remember looking at my man going, I think we have a problem, because he drank like I did too. And he was like, I don't have a problem. You have a problem. And the next day he left. We were together 4 years. He packed up everything because he was so scared of getting sober. And I knew for whatever reason, I was like, I got to go to AA or I'm going to kill myself. That's where I was at. And I went to a meeting.
Wow. So how did that first initial meeting go, and what was running through your head when you first entered it? Because now you're a participant, you know what I'm saying? Like this is different from what you used to do. I mean, what you went through when you was young. Now you're that person. So
oh yeah. Well, you got to remember, my job is
head.
mandating people to serve it. I'm mandating you to go to AA and NA. I'm giving you counseling on how to get sober. The whole time I'm an active alcoholic, right?
You're functional. And that's another thing that a lot of us weren't at the time. We weren't educated enough. We didn't know that they had functional people. Like you said, you think of people on drugs and stuff like that, or on alcohol. You think of bums. You think this and that, blah, blah. But there was a lot of functional addicts.
Oh yeah. By the way, since the pandemic, relapsing and overdosing has gone up 82%.
Wow.
So we are losing people left and right because the pandemic, the isolation, a lot of people turn to alcohol and drugs. Why?
I'm gonna give you one of the major reasons why that thing bumped up to 82%. Because a lot of men couldn't deal with their wives. Yo, yeah, divorce rate went up too. I mean, like,
This
yo,
is
people
true.
had to be together. Like, damn, man. Like,
No, a lot of people broke up. Actually, the pandemic was a make or break. You either
yeah,
broke up or you really got close and realized you loved that person.
yeah. I mean,
But
to be honest with you, the pandemic, that's how it worked like that for me to get closer with my
mhm.
wife. Yeah,
Mhm.
it forced us to talk.
Yeah.
Something I don't
Yeah.
want to do. I don't like doing. I don't like doing that. And it's like, oh, but it was the best thing for
Well,
us.
check this out. Most of us alcoholics and addicts, I'm not saying you are at all. Part of our drinking and drugging is because we don't like to talk. But the
Yeah.
second we drink or put something in our
Oh,
body, now it's suave. I can have a
yeah.
conversation all night.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah.
dance. I can flirt. I can do whatever.
Mm-hmm. Courage juice.
That's courage juice. That really, you know, I not every time I drank bad things happen, but every time bad things happen, I was drunk.
Yeah. I also think that, like, because we're young, we don't really learn how to drink. You know what I'm saying? Because there's
Mhm.
a certain way you gotta drink. And
Mhm.
that how we were drinking is not the way. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You don't bang out cups
No.
after cups after cups. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You gotta sip, enjoy, babysit that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I was, when I was young, I was always teetering, um, having an alcohol problem. But thank God I never crossed the line. But when I drank, but I had to eventually teach myself how to drink to enjoy the alcohol instead of just enjoying the feeling.
Mhm. Mhm.
So now when I
Mhm.
drink, I'll have my glass, I'll sip one glass a
Mhm.
night, or maybe if I'm lucky two. So I think it's all education and stuff like that also,
Mhm.
and I know at the time we didn't have internet, now we do, so this is completely different. Um, more people can be more educated now with the internet, but at the time it was balls to the wall and you figure the shit out.
Yeah, for real. And you figure this shit out through your friends because
Hmm.
you ain't talking to your parents about this or
No,
they
you're not. No, of course
right?
not.
And then you're talking to your friends, but if your friends are partying and drinking the way you are, then nobody thinks anybody has a problem.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
all
yeah.
good. Matter of fact, when I got sober, a lot of people pulled away from me because they were like,